Hello everyone, my name is Shubham Sahu. I'm from IIT Roorkee. Today I'm going to give a presentation on the topic digital counters. So this is going to be the content. First of all, introduction, then what are counters, then what are the different types of counters, then what is the major difference between asynchronous and synchronous counters, then the truth tables of these different types of counters, then application, then some practical examples where these types of counters are used, then lastly bibliography. So counters are the crucial hardware component. Counter circuits are made using flip-flops, and counters have modes. So the modes of the counter represent the number of states it is going to represent. So suppose there is a mode 4 counter. So what it represent is it can have at most 4 states, and before setting to the initial state, which is 0, it is going to go through these 4 states. So so this means in general a mode capital N counter can contain small n number of flip flops where 2 to the power small n is going to be capital N. This is the general binary representation. That's why this formula applies here. And let's talk about what are counters. So the digital circuit which is used to count the number of pulses are formally called as counters or timers. So counting means incrementing or decrementing some values with respect to the previous state. We cannot perform this kind of operation without using counters, digital circuits basically. Let's talk about the different types of counters. Generally, we divide counters into broadly we divided them into two types, which is asynchronous and synchronous counters. Apart from them, according to uh, uh, whether the current state increases or decreases according to the previous state, we can divide them into up and down counters also. And apart from the major type of counter we use are decade counters, ring counters, and Johnson counters. So we will discuss them one by one. So let's talk about asynchronous counters. So the asynchronous is the simplest in terms of the logical operation. So here the clock pulse is applied to first flip flop, and the successive flip flops are triggered by the output of the previous flip flop. Thus, these types of counters have some cumulative time lag, some settling time. Uh, we will discuss them in the future. Then let's talk about the truth table of the up-down counters. So basically, up counters will increment the states, the current state. And the down counters are going to decrease the states. So this is going to be a mod 8 counter. So there are 8 states, and for representing them, we have basically three flip flops. Yeah. So let's talk about synchronous counters. So in synchronous counters, the clock inputs of all the flip-flops are connected together and are triggered by the input pulses. Thus, all the flip-flops changes state simultaneously. So what happens here is all the flip-flops get the input simultaneously, and the state are going to be changed simultaneously. So it is very unlike to the asynchronous counter where the current states depends upon the previous states. Synchronous counters are easy to design. So let's side by side differentiate synchronous and asynchronous counters. So yeah, so in synchronous counter, the propagation delay is very low because in synchronous counter, the input is going to be provided to all the flip flops simultaneously, so there is no time lag. Every flip flop don't have to wait for their outputs, and in asynchronous counters, the propagation delay is higher than the synchronous counters. Yeah. So in synchronous counter, its operational frequency is very high, but in asynchronous counter, the frequency of operation is very low. And in synchronous counter, these are faster than that of ripple counters, but the asynchronous ones are a little bit slower. And to build the synchronous counter, we require a large number of logical gates. But in asynchronous counter, we require less number of logical circuits. Then that's why the synchronous counters are high in cost, but asynchronous counters are low in cost. The synchronous counter circuits are easy to design, but asynchronous requires some complex design. Okay. So let's talk about decade counters. From the name, we can say that decade means 10. So basically, this type of counters are going to have 10 states. So decade counters can be constructed using JK flip-flops. The J output and the K outputs are connected to logic 1. The clock input of every flip-flop is connected to the output of next flip-flop except the last one. Yeah. So when the decade counter is at rest, the current state, the count is equals to zero, and basically after that, every current state is going to increase one by one, and whenever we use NAND gate to output to set the to clear the input whenever the last state is reached, so it reset all the flip flop stage in a decade counter. It means the pulse after count 9 will again start the count from count 0. For that we use NAND gate. So yeah, so the basic difference between the major difference which decade counter have from all other counters is all other counters have their mod in the power of 2. So basically they use all the bit to its maximum potential, but decade counter for decade counter after count 9 we require it to go to the initial state which is 0. So for that, we require some complex logic to set all the bit after 10 to 0. So yeah, this is the main difference of decade counter from all other type of counters. Then let's talk about the truth table. The NAND gate output is connected to clear input, so it resets all the flip-flop stages in decade counter. This means the pulse after count 9 will again starts from the count 0. So that's why we have these 10 states, and after the 10th state, we are going to reset to state 0. So yeah, let's talk about the ring counters. So in counters, what basically happens is the current bit. Suppose this is the current state 1000. So the next state, the one bit is going to be shifted by one bit. So one is in Q0. So in the next state, the one is going to be shifted to Q1. So yeah, in ring counters, the ring counters are cascaded connection of flip-flops in which the output of last flip-flop is connected to the input of the first flip-flop. You can see that from this diagram. So yeah, in ring counters, if the output of any stage is 1, then it propagates to the next stage with a shift. Yeah. So initially all the flip-flops in ring counters are reset to 0 by applying some clear signal. The ring counters transform the same output throughout the circuit. Ring counters are usually used to count the data in continuous loop. So basically, suppose after a particular time, the last state, uh, the there is a loop. Suppose in the different states, we use ring counters over there. So yeah, let's talk about Johnson counters. The Johnson counters are the special type of ring counters. So basically, these are the modification of ring counters. And this the inverted output of the last state flip flop is connected to the input of the first flip flop. If we use n flip flops to design this Johnson counter, it is known as 2n bit Johnson counters. So yeah, we can clearly see from the diagram that after shifting that one bit to QB, we are not setting 0 to QA. We are keeping that one bit in QA. So yeah, Johnson's counters are the special modification of ring counter. So let's talk about some practical examples of counters. So we use counters in many applications. Whenever we come across use of timers, there we use counters of synchronous type. And logically, basically, whenever we require some kind of a logic of increment or decrement, and there is a particular limit above which we cannot increase the value of the counter, we use digital counter over there. So in our kitchen appliances, we use microwaves. In that, we set some temperature to heat the food item kept in it. Initially, the counter calculates the increase or decrease in the temperature in time. So if it reaches some preset temperature value, it stops over there. So for that logic, we use counter. Apart from them, we use counters in washing machines and all. So yeah, uh, in programmable logical controllers, we use digital counters. So programmable controllers is a digital computer used for automation of typically industrial electromechanical processes. So we use a digital counter over there also. So let's talk about some of the applications. Frequency counters, digital clocks, analog to digital converters. Here we all use digital counters. Then with some changes in their design, counters can be used as frequency divider circuit also. The frequency divider circuit is that which divides the input frequency exactly by 2. So in time measurements, that means calculating time in timers such as electronic devices like ovens, washing machines, we use digital counters. Also, we can design digital triangular wave generator by using counters. And yeah, these are these are some of the sources from which I have picked these resources like Wikipedia, Crystal Graphics, Geeks for Gigs. So yeah, that's all from my side. Thank you.